Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Cozy Does It. My name's Beth, and I'm really glad that you stopped by my channel today. So, it's Halloween week. It is currently Thursday when I'm filming this, and then Halloween is actually on Tuesday when this video is gonna go up. This weekend, I'm going to a family Halloween party and I need to put my costume together. So we have this running joke in my family that I am obsessed with potatoes. I do really enjoy potatoes in many different forms. I don't know how this joke got started. I don't remember. It might have just literally been me saying like, oh my gosh, I love potatoes. And the group just ran with it. But basically now, anytime any of my cousins see anything remotely potato related or anything that even just reminds them of a potato, they'll send it to me. Like for instance, my sister and her husband took a trip to Spain and Portugal, and on their trip they saw these mountains that just like reminded them of a bunch of potatoes. So I got that lovely picture with their thoughts that they look like potatoes. So like I said, don't really remember how it got started, but it's totally a thing now. And I thought it would be really funny since I'm going to a Halloween party with these family members to just kind of really lay into that joke. And my Halloween costume idea is Mrs. Potato Head from the Toy Story franchise. So I am going to make my costume. I have the supplies. Now, some of the supplies are clothing items that aren't part of my Project 333. I figured that it would be okay to go outside the Project 333 since I am gonna be changing the appearance of these clothing items so that I look like Mrs. Potato Head. So obviously I'm not gonna be Mrs. Potato Head every day. So I think it's okay. I will tell you the items that I purchased. I will show you how I'm gonna put it together. I did make this costume for, I think it was about $30 total. I had looked up how much it would cost to buy a pre-made costume, and it was $55 at Party Fair, one of the like party and Halloween stores in our area. And I was like, I'm not spending $55 to look like a potato. So I made it out of like recycled items. So I'll show you, I'll talk about it when I show you the pieces, but I made this costume for around $30 and it includes items that I could potentially wear again. So I'm excited to show you how I put it together. I am definitely a person who prefers to make a Halloween costume as opposed to buy a Halloween costume. So it really did scratch that kind of creative itch that I got when thinking about what to be for Halloween. I thought that this character would be funny for that whole potato joke thing, but also because my cousin's son really likes Toy Story, and I think it would be fun to bring a character to life from that movie franchise that he enjoys. He actually does call Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. So he might call me Mrs. Tomato Head, and that, you know what, it's totally fine. We'll learn about the vegetables and fruits and it'll be great. For Mike, let me show you what I got him because he's not one to really lean into Halloween. He doesn't love to dress up. So because I do, I was like, okay, compromise. Here is this thing that will add an extra level of comedy to this costume, and let me show you what that is. This is what I got Mike for his costume. It says, I'm with the potato, that's me. And he's definitely gonna have to stand on one side of me the whole night, so we'll see how he likes that. But I thought that would just be a really funny way to have him be able to wear something that's like regular clothes, but also part of the fun and just like a way to emphasize the humor of the costume that I'm going to be wearing. So I'm excited. Let's put it together, and yeah. Okay, you guys, so On the bed here, I have all of the supplies that I'm using to make my Halloween costume, which is Mrs. Potato Head. I'm very excited to show you these things. I really enjoy making Halloween costumes. I have made probably all of my Halloween costumes throughout my life, either with my own creativity or with the help from my parents, who are also super creative. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for passing on those cool skills to me. So let me start by showing you what the base for my costume is going to be, what I'm going to wear underneath the costume. So in all the pictures that I've seen of Mrs. Potato Head from the Toy Story franchise, she has like white arms and gloves. I don't have any white gloves, but I am going to wear this like white, light gray striped long sleeve t-shirt as my base, just so I can have those like white arms. On the bottom, I'm just gonna wear a pair of regular black leggings just so I can be comfortable. They're stretchy so I can eat whatever I want, you guys. So that's my base. And then on top of that white shirt, for the kind of engineering of the costume, since I am not going to be actually sewing anything for this costume, which is pretty neat, let me just say. I have a belt, and I am going to wrap this belt around my waist, and it will serve a very important function for the next step of the costume, which is my cool potato dress. So I found the perfect potato color dress, you guys. So this is my potato dress. It is a piece from Amazon from the brand The Drop. And I thought it would be perfect because I was trying to figure out, I wanted something sleeveless. I didn't want to have to do too much sewing for this project. And it turns out I won't have to do any, so it's amazing. So what I found so ideal about the function of this dress is that it is a midi length dress, and it has this pretty substantial frill on the bottom. This is going to serve basically the function of polyfill. If I were sewing the dress, it's going to add a little bit of girth to my outfit. I'll show you how I engineer this in a moment. Let me finish showing you the components of the costume, and then we'll get to that step. I think you'll think it's pretty cool because I was like, this is awesome when it worked, and I told Mike, and he was like, I don't care. The next step is this white bucket hat, just a plain white bucket hat. I got it for like $5 on Amazon. I could reuse it in the summertime if I'm sitting on the beach, or it's a great like packable hat, which is, as you know, I like to pack light, so this would be perfect for that. I did make this flower out of, I made it out of a piece of stationery, like a thank you card, and I just drew on it with marker and crayon. I had trouble finding a fabric flower, paper flower that had the orange center like Mrs. Potato Head has on her hat. And then I just flipped up the brim in the front. There is a safety pin in there. Oh, there it is. Safety pin in there to hold that flower onto the hat. And it looks really cute on. I'll show you when I assemble the whole costume. All right, next I have my accessory items, and this, I'm like way too proud of this. So maybe from far away this looks like a real handbag. Guys, this is a Hallmark gift bag. I made this. I cut up a gift bag. I'll show you how I did it too. I'm really excited about it. I cut up a gift bag and folded the back over the front, and then I taped on these handles from like a retail bag that we had from Mike's old phone. And I'm pretty excited with how it came out. I think it looks so cute, and I'm kind of like, why isn't this a real handbag? I love it. I'm just like, this looks like the character's handbag. I was looking for real handbags to try to buy, and I'm so happy I didn't have to. I spent like $3 on this item, and I'm so proud of that. So to go with my beautiful red handbag, Hallmark gift bag, you guys, I have these red ballet flats. I am pulling these out of the Project 333 storage solely for this costumes purposes, and then they'll go back in the storage. And then, really exciting, and they're kind of hard to lift up, so I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna show you the pieces for Mrs. Potato Head's face. So let me pick up the camera, I'll flip it around, and I'll show that to you. And then after that, we will assemble the costume, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. And then after that, I will show you how I made the facial parts. Okay, you guys, I am way too excited to show you this. I made this beautiful Mrs. Potato Head face out of recycled materials, like old tissue paper, recyclable items. And in a second, I'll show you what those items were. But just look at this. And I made this for free, you guys. Like, I already had all this stuff on hand. And basically just, yeah, recyclable items, tissue paper, tape. And look how cool it comes out. Like, how creative you can be with just items that you already have on hand is just something that always gives me so much satisfaction. So now let me show you what this was constructed from. So here I have on the right side the items that I used to make this face. So I used cutout pieces from an egg carton for the eyes, and then a squashed toilet paper roll and Chobani yogurt cup for the nose that I taped together with my packing tape. And then for the mouth, I just wrapped red tissue paper around a cutout piece of cardboard from a box. So here I have an example of a pasta box that I used. I actually made the teeth, mouth, and eyebrows out of a Lindt dark chocolate bar casing box, and then just covered everything in regular tissue paper and sealed it together with packing tape. So just like no sew, no gluing. It was so quick, and it just was so satisfying to be able to make something that looked very close to the real thing for free, basically, like items that I had already bought for other purposes. So let me get you back up and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, now I'm gonna put the whole thing together. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all assembled. And if you're looking for an easy costume idea for tonight, if you're going trick-or-treating or something, you have any kind of dress that would work in this function, or even just like a bulky tan or brown sweatshirt, you could totally make this, you guys. So let me assemble the costume, then I will show you how I made the handbag if you are interested in making a costume like this too. All right. This is not the most flattering angle for me, you guys, but I've got my potato dress on. Next step, I'm going to be tucking the bottom hemline up into that belt underneath the dress. I would have done it upside down, except for that the neck hole of this dress is not big enough to kind of pull back up over my body. So let me get started, and I will show you what this looks like once it's all tucked into the belt. This is a really beautiful moment. So I have the bottom of that waistline tucked up into the belt. Next, I'm gonna take where that seam met that ruffle and just pull that downward. And you'll see how we create that very flattering potato shape. Look at this, you guys. And it even has pockets. I'm gonna regret putting this on the internet, but I don't care. And guys, just like, how easy was that? All right, let me take my face onto this and I'll show you the finished product. So just an update, I was trying to tape on the face pieces, but they're not really sticking. So I'm going to take this off and then assemble the face on the dress with safety pins, and then I'll put it back on. Ta-da! So here's the finished assembled face. I did use tape for the eyebrows and the mouth, The reason I taped the eyebrows and the mouth was not only because they were lighter, but also one of the fun aspects of Mrs. Potato Head is her changing expression. And I found that if you just like adjust the eyebrows and the mouth a little bit, you can give her like angry eyes look. So this is the finished product. I'm fully potatoized and I feel good. I'm happy. I love it. And I think my family's gonna find it hilarious that I finally have dressed up as a potato. Okay, I'm going to get out of my potato costume and I will show you how I made this beautiful handbag. I will be using a different bag to make it. I don't have another red one, but I'll show you how I cut a regular gift bag to make this handbag for my Mrs. Potato Head Halloween costume. I feel sassy, you guys. This is so fun. I cannot wait to show it to my family. All right, I'm going to change and I will show you how I made my beautiful spud handbag. Okay, guys, here are the items that you will need to make a paper handbag. I don't know how well this will work if you were trying to make it as like an actual handbag to use, although it came out pretty nice. I think if you're using a quality gift bag, it could come out pretty nice. I'm just using this Ulta shopping bag and I will show you how I make this kind of shape handbag. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is remove the handles from this shopping bag. I'm just gonna rip those out. You could also use like yarn or ribbon even, just to get to your desired length. I am gonna use these paper ones just to show you how I made it. Next, so now I have a bag with no handles. So we want it to have this kind of structured shape. I'm just gonna cut off the front part of the bag to about 1/3 of the way down the bag. And actually I'm gonna leave only the back. So I'm gonna cut off the sides to that same point as well. Okay, what you're left with is something that looks like this. So the gusset is left on the bottom part of the bag that we didn't touch on both sides. Next, I'm going to open the gusset. So it should kind of look like this right now. What you want to do next is pinch these closed like this. So pinch the top of the gusset closed. And then you want to fold down this flap like that. And just fold it across the top. I'm going to put a little piece of tape here so this stays closed. Staying closed pretty well on its own, but just to get a piece, just to definitely make sure it stays closed. Let's do this. And there we go. Just reshape it a little bit so it's the right shape that you want. All right, and then on my handbag, I just cut out a circle from the part of the bag that I already cut off, just to make that kind of hardware look on the handbag. So I'm gonna do that. I will tape that on. So I taped on my hardware decal, whatever you want to call it. Next, I have these handles. So I'm going to make these 2 handles. These are just paper handles, into one longer handle with just a little bit of tape. So let me tape them in the center, and then what I'll do is I'll tape them on the upper inside of the sealed gusset. And there you have it, a constructed costume handbag. That's my costume. I'm going to be wearing it on Saturday when I have a Halloween party with my family. I will maybe show you a couple of shots from the party, maybe some of the food that we have. It is also a birthday party for all of our family's October birthdays. So if we have like some cake or anything, I'll give you a look at that as well. Thanks so much for helping me put my costume together. It was a bit of trial and error. I do think though it was a pretty easy no-sew costume solution. So if you are looking for a costume solution for tonight, for trick-or-treating with your kids, or maybe you have a last-minute party to go to, I encourage you to exercise your creative muscles and try to make something if you have some stuff on hand, and it's really fulfilling to be able to make something. So good luck if you are scrounging for Halloween. Also, happy Halloween, and I will show you our party when we have it on Saturday. Hi, Dad. Has it been a rough fall?
It has been a rough fall.
You feel like you're picking yourself up, though?
You know, while raking leaves, I fell into the bag.
Yeah.
And I just can't get out.
Isn't that the worst?
I can't get out from under it. Leave me alone.
Good morning, everybody. I had such a great time at my family's Halloween party slash joint October birthday party. It was so much fun and everybody was so creative with their costumes. You'll be happy to know that the potato was a hit and I got quite a few laughs and compliments on it, and it was so much fun. It was a bit warm and it was hot here on Saturday, so it was a bit of a hot potato, and I did not keep the costume on for very long. I also wanted to let you know that a few of my birthday cards had potato references in them, and my cousin even gave me a potato themed gift, which I'm going to show you right now. That's my new friend, the Positive Potato. This is a crocheted or knit. Guys, I'm not good at that. So if you know if this is crocheted or knit, let me know down in the comments. And it is just the cutest thing. It says, Positive Potato. I may be a tiny potato, but I believe in you. Go do your thing. So go do your thing, whatever that thing is, as long as it makes you happy and it doesn't hurt anybody. And I also got this cute pumpkin blanket behind me from my cousin Danielle and her husband. And it was so nice to celebrate with everybody. People were so creative with their costumes, as you saw in this video. My dad was a bag of leaves, which he's been a bag of groceries before as well. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. It's been so much fun to film this one and to edit it. And I hope that you have a wonderful Halloween today, and I hope you do something festive, whether it's trick-or-treating with your kids, going to a party later, or even just throwing on a festive movie. And that's probably what we'll be doing here. We don't really get a lot of trick-or-treaters. I hope you have such a happy Halloween with your friends or family, or even just on your own. And just remember to be safe and cautious when walking up to a stranger's door if you're trick-or-treating. If you don't celebrate Halloween, let me know in the comments what you think of our kind of odd American tradition. I know we have some viewers who are international, and I would be interested to hear what you think of our Halloween traditions. And in the meantime, if you don't celebrate Halloween, I hope that you just have a wonderful day. And if you liked this video, please remember to hit that subscribe button down below. If you want to receive notifications from my videos, you can hover over that bell icon that's attached to the subscribe button, and you'll be able to choose your preferences. And for today, happy Halloween!